This is my second Pesso residential. I really wanted to come back after the first brilliant experience I had last year. So I've come back for more.
I think this is a magnificent way of working. I've been in personal development for, some 40 years now, and a professional psychotherapist for 20. There are many, many different right ways of doing things, but this is the only one I know that actually places a healing in. Take a bad situation that exists in the past and somehow heal it.
It's the most incredible sort of therapy I've ever come across. After years and years and years of just talking therapy, I'm from a background in body work. I was a shiatsu practitioner. This is just incredibly direct, like right to the scene of the wound, and it's extraordinary. It's like you find the wound and then you find the exact right thing to mend that. The right person, the right words, the right time of your life to receive it.
So as I understand it, we all have a soul. We all have basic needs as tiny, innocent babies and children. And those needs are things like nurture, limits, care. And if those needs aren't met, our soul doesn't get the protection that it needs and the support and nurture. So our ego might end up being fragile or overinflated. And so Pesso is helping people to have their needs met so that they can have a healthy ego and therefore go out into the world without trying to have needs met by the wrong people.
In a nutshell, it is a group process which involves taking current issues and linking them with the past issues which are the real problem, either deficits, things you didn't have which you should have had, or trauma, things you did have which you shouldn't have had, and placing this antidote and letting the child in you know something an ideal father might say, if I'd been there when you were 5, I wouldn't have done that. I'd have been there for you. All these things which, if the child, who is still there, hears that, then that child will be healed. The body will say, yeah, that's what I needed. That's what I needed back then. It places a memory of a pleasant healing experience on top of the traumatic or absent experience. And so when past problems influence current behaviour, there's this layer that ameliorates that.
Because you're working in a group, and because most people in the group are taking part in some way, you've already created there a really safe space. And so that environment is precious for people doing Pesso. Permission giving as an environment. And it means that people can explore whatever the emotions are, and they're all okay and welcome.
Yeah, it's very much an embodied type of therapy. So I suppose the way an ideal mum would wrap around a child, that's kind of what we're achieving in Pesso structures. It's that perfect matching of a child's needs. It's the permission to have exactly what you want, I think, is so powerful. There's a really strong, definite physiological response to it, body response, soul response to it that's undeniable.
A structure is the client's time to work on themselves with the rest of the group and the therapist supporting. It was really powerful. I felt very held, both by the therapist and also by the space and the ideal people that were involved in my structure.
It was huge for me. And I wasn't completely sure that I would go all the way with all of it, but I'm really proud of myself that I did. Juliet just makes it so safe that I thought, I've just got to do this. Just got to get it out. And then, yeah, they just, the grief poured out in the way Juliet sort of received that. It was wonderful. I trust her. She makes this incredible therapy look utterly effortless. I'm sure it's not. I'm learning that it's not. But she makes it all feel like the most natural thing in the world. And she's utterly non-judgmental, completely accepting, and incredibly skillful.
It's a really beautiful kind of therapy. There is trust. You have to be able to go into the process and trust it and the people. And I would trust Juliet as well to take you through it and get you through it, and the rest of the group to get you through it. But if you can do that, it will help to unfold new things about yourself in a really special way. It's amazing how quickly you can just follow what feels right, and with the guidance from Juliet, that tends to work out.
She's a warm, lovely human being. For me, she's a mentor. She is my supervisor in my conventional psychotherapeutic work. Through that, she lured me into Pesso, and I've never looked back. And in fact, I'm training as a Pesso therapist now.
Being around people that are doing their work too, and coming together in that is joyful, definitely. And after structures, quite often exhausted, but wonderful.
I have seen people far more damaged than I am healed through it. Give it a go. It's an adventure.
I just say go for it. Really go for it. You know, almost like you've got nothing to lose but your shame. You've got a whole load of joy to reclaim, and a chance to integrate things that we've kind of shut off from, and that have reduced our capacity to be our full selves in the world for too long. It's life-changing.